Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So today the question is, how do I find my life purpose? So this is a viewer request. Somebody left me a kind message asking if I could do it. So here we go. And I'm not going to be answering the question, what is my life purpose? That's a completely different question. What we're looking at is how you find it. So how you go on a voyage of discovery to find out for yourself what your life purpose is. I'm not going to actually tell you what that is. So we're going to look at a few different things like where you are now and what's going on and all the rest of it, and then how you can put yourself on the path to your life purpose. So for some of you, you might find that actually what the cards show up is something that you would never assume is your life purpose, and rightly, because it's not. But by doing it, it sort of puts you in the right place at the right time with the right people, and that you then discover something new about yourself or about the world, and you suddenly have the epiphany of, this is my life purpose, this is what I'm meant to do with my life. So remember that this is a general reading and it's not going to resonate completely with everybody. There are going to be things that you need to use your own intuition on and sort of dismiss part of what I say, and also just apply it, the generalized message, to the specific circumstances of your own life. So we have option 1, 2, 3 and 4. I will put the timestamps in the comment section, and I will also put the timestamps for the readings in the description box. I will also put in the description box all the information that you need if you decide to get a private reading with me, if you want to follow me on Instagram, and all the other links for like the decks that I'm using will all be in the description box, so please look there. Right, so now I want you to take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, free yourself from all thoughts, calm yourself down, regulate your breathing, and when you feel in a relaxed, peaceful state, I want you to make your choice. 1, 2, 3 or 4. Don't doubt yourself, don't overthink it, just trust your instincts, your inner knowing. If you need a bit more time to do that, then please press pause, because I'm now going to be moving on to the readings. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, this is your reading. How do you find your life purpose? So these 2 cards are representative of sort of where you are now, what you're doing now that's not helping you get onto your life purpose. It's sort of diverting you from the path. It doesn't mean that it's something that you're doing that's wrong, or that you should stop doing it. It's just saying that the amount of time that you are investing in this, the amount of energy that you're investing in this, is unhelpful, and that you might want to rethink how much time you're investing in it. It's like spending too much time having fun rather than doing something constructive, something like that. So we've got King of Arrows, Kingfisher, and we have the 3 of Stones, Creativity. That's interesting. So I think that for those of you that chose option 1, what you're doing now that's not helping you is possibly, I'll read it actually in 2 ways, which is suppressing your creativity. That gives me a hint that for some of you, your life's purpose is to do with creativity. You know, that the connection to others and the world that allows you to flourish, you know, spiritually, soulfully, in order to create. So it's almost like the poet that doesn't write, or the songwriter that doesn't sing. And you know, for some of you, you might say, well, I actually do that, but I don't let anyone know that I've written 3 novels and they're just stored on a memory stick in my, you know, bedroom drawer, office drawer or something. Others of you are not even creating for, you know, your own personal pleasure. You're actually suppressing it because, you know, it's the King of Arrows, the Kingfisher, the sort of the King of Swords. It's being too intellectual about it. So some of you might just be being too intellectual about your connections to each other, your need for creativity, for expression even if it's not something artistic. It's about creativity, it's about the unique workings of our mind, that you think in a different way to anyone else. I think in a different way to anyone else, and the person next door to you thinks in a different way to anyone else. Even if you look at them and think they're the most mundane, boring person you've ever met, that's so mainstream, vanilla type, it doesn't matter. Actually, they see the world in a different way. They could be suppressing in just the same way that you are yours. We're all truly creative people in the way that we deal with others in the world, and for you, it's not helpful that in some way you're suppressing something about, you know, in a sense, yourself. The other thing is that you are a creative person, but, you know, you're just flying above it. You know, like, these are your emotions, and the bird, the kingfisher, is flying above it and away. This woman here, she's got her eyes closed. She's got her eyes closed. She's linked to the world, you know, but she's got her eyes, she's not opening to them. This is why I'm getting the feeling that some of you are creative, but that it's not necessarily existing in the world, if that makes any sense. It's just existing in your head. Some of you know, like, you write, you come up with amazing paintings in your mind, or beautiful meals, or solve lots of you know, just a super creative, and it's all in your mind and it's not in reality, because you're flying above it. You're not landing, you're not doing anything, you're not landing. It's just not allowing your heart and soul to be engaged in your life purpose, basically, which is something to possibly to do with expressing yourself. I'm not going to tell you what your life purpose is, so let's forget about that. But in whatever way that you can connect to your life purpose, you're not doing it. And yeah, it's just about being too much in your mind, and it's not helping you. It's a little fly. So let's get on to better news, which is what's sort of in your life, what you're doing that is conductive to your life purpose. You might find that these are things that you actively do, or that are entering your life, you know, like because this is a sense where you're being guided to your life purpose through these things. So it's, if you're doing it, you're guiding in a sense yourself, because you do clearly want to find what your life purpose is, or that the universe is conspiring to put you on your life path, and this is how they're doing it. So we've got the Six of Wands and the Ten of Chalices. So you know, in this sense, things are happening in your life that make you feel incredibly successful, that make you feel that you're on display, that you are getting public accolade, you know, you're getting attention, and that you have a happy family, or that you want these things. You know, I know I said I wouldn't say what your life path is. So, you know, but it's almost like you're meant to be creative, and your life path is starting to take you in the direction of looking to have your work seen, and that it brings you emotional abundance, happiness. So I think that some of you, whatever you're like, you know, you might be thinking at this moment in time, well, I've got an inkling, I know what my life purpose is. And you're thinking, you know, how can I get on it? The universe, in a sense, is guiding you, or you're guiding yourself inside to do that, to try and be happy and to be seen. There's just very much a vibe I'm getting here just from these four cards, that actually a lot of you do know it, you're just not sure how to do it. And the answer how to do it is by doing it and being seen, and by putting your work out there, or your whatever it is, or whatever your desire is, whatever, you know. If your desire, if you feel your life purpose is to be a parent and be part of a happy family, and you're just single and you know, and ignoring it and not collaborating in any way, which is also a meaning for this card, then you're sort of coming to the point where you think, yeah, I want to be seen, to be in a happy family, to be doing these things. Or that, you know, things are conspiring to put you in that position. Whatever you feel that your life purpose might be, and you're getting this call to do something in public. Or it could be that if you feel like, for example, your life purpose is to be a nurse, but you're rejecting it because your intellectual side's domineering it all. Your life is in a good place in terms of your family. You're getting the security you need in order to feel you don't need to worry about bills, or that your kids are okay and your marriage is okay, so that you can invest some time in yourself, in what you want to be publicly seen as. I think this is it. I think that you're just now being, whatever your life purpose is, I feel that you do know. And I think that you are getting to the point where you want to do it. And this is the point. So how do you find your life purpose? You follow this instinct for basically, almost like fame and fortune, but, you know, certainly being applauded for what you want to do, and having the support of family, or at least looking towards them, or finding happiness in your family. So this card is representative of actual actions, what you can do, what you need to start looking into. This can be researching, actively doing, thinking about, or anything. It's just sort of, you know, look this way, and it's a side road onto your life's purpose, your life path. Ancestors' remembrance. Now that's interesting, because Ten of Chalices is like the happily after card, and it's a card of like the parents with a child, the new generation. So it's something to do, yeah, with remembering the past, remembering your ancestors. So I don't know whether some of you might feel that your life path is connected to something an ancestor has done. You know, like if you look into your family tree, you find out that, you know, your great-great-grandfather or grandmother did exactly what you know, sort of thinking, oh, I'd like to do that. You know, and like, who do they think they are? And then they discover that they've got a relative that was an actor or a musician that they never knew about. That kind of thing. But I think as well, you need to remember what's gone on before you. You don't want to repeat their mistakes. You want to build upon their successes and move towards your own success, and sort of build your life, build your new life. Yeah, you're meant to, or remember something. This might immediately connect. You know, did you want to do this when you were younger, and you think it's dead and buried? It's a skeleton. It's so dead. It's just not going to happen. I wanted to do it when I was a teenager. Now I'm a happily married person with 2 kids. Excuse me. And I love them, and I want them to be happy, and I won't risk anything that risks their happiness or my family personal security. But you've got to remember possibly what you were in the past, what you wanted to be, and not have this assumption that you're too old, it's too late, that you're going to screw it up again, you know, that you won't be any good at it. It doesn't matter, just do it. And I think through this remembering, I think something from your past, I'm just feeling that it's something to do with your past, really, that you think is gone. But in reality, you can get out and go out into the sun where these standing stones are, and look at the symmetry here, that you can reconnect. It's almost like get out there, get on those standing stones, stand up against them, feel the sun, and create the life that you want to lead. And then you will be on your life path. You'll find your life purpose by getting out there and doing something that you're, I think, compelled to do. And you might just have a bit of fear because you're suppressing it. You're suppressing, I think, your own instinct. So we have reconsider, which is just the last bit of information, the last message for you. So reconsider. So there's something that you're doing that you need to reconsider. That is so helpful to you, isn't it? That, you know, what is it that you're doing that you need to reconsider? I think that you possibly already know. I think that there's something even that you might be thinking about during this reading. And even if it's, you know, reconsider what you're doing that you deep down know is not providing you with real happiness, that it's not, sorry about that, it's not satisfying your soul, and you need to reconsider it. Reconsider it. So yeah, reconsider not doing it. You need to do it. So those of you that chose option 1, I hope this reading has helped you. How to find your life's purpose is do something that gets you, in a sense, attention and makes you feel emotionally satisfied. It brings you happiness, basically. So if there's something that you like doing and it just brings you pure happiness and contentment, and a contentment and happiness and joy that lasts for more than like 10 minutes after you've done it. It's one that you're thinking about for quite a while afterwards, and it like brings you happiness. And just do it, and remember something about the past that maybe you'd forgotten, and reconsider doing this thing. So thank you very much for listening to me. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose option 2, this is your reading. How do you find your life purpose? So these 2 cards represent sort of what you're doing that's not conducive to your life purpose. So it's not that you're acting against it, it's just that life's taken you in this direction and it sort of veered you off the path. So it might be things you're actively doing, your mindset, your attitudes, the way, feeling about things. It's just taking you off the path. Through this, I might say, just by seeing that you're doing these things that maybe your life path is connected to, but it doesn't matter what your life path is. This is just stopping you from doing it. So we have the 9 of Bows, respect, excuse me, and Page of Stones, links. This is such a creepy card. He looks so creepy. He's just like, you're walking along, you see this, and it's like, I haven't seen a woman in years. I'd run if I saw a man like that looking at me. Not to say that you're doing that to people. I just find it an incredibly creepy card. But I think what this is telling you, that you're putting too much respect on something else. It almost reminds me of... just give me a second. Right, sorry about that. I just had to pause for a second. So, I think that you're putting too much respect on something else, something that something that you shouldn't be putting respect on. It's like putting someone else before yourself. I can't do this because I've got this to do, or someone needs me, or I'm not good enough. They're so much better than me. They're so much more talented. Okay, this kind of, thing that, my life purpose, it's just, that's not down for me. That's not down for the sort of person I am, the sort of life I've lived. Like I'm too poor, I'm not from the right class, or I'm not from the right area, I haven't got the right accent, I haven't got the right look. There's something here where, you're respecting something that's not helping you. And so for some of you, it's a respect for a mindset, like an ancestral, this sort of sense of tradition and history, like my parents believe this, so I should. But it's diverting you from your life path. So there's something in your life that you really put a lot of thought into and a lot of respect for, and it's just not helping you. We've got next the Page of Stones, which is links. And for me, that says that you're sort of hiding and watchful. Like the lynx it's like an elusive cat animal, one that hides in the trees and then pounces out at you. These are 2 people that are just hiding in the bushes. Remember, like I said, it feels like he's hiding in the bushes and ready to pounce out, and he's sort of stalking you, and he's a strange character. It's like you've really taken yourself off from who you're really meant to be and what you're really meant to do, and it's distorting you, it's isolating you. And that's not to say that you're some sort of hermit that doesn't leave the house. Some of you might be. But that it's sort of isolating you from what you're meant to do, what's going to nourish you, what's going to make you happy. what you're meant to do in the world, or at least what you can do better than anyone else, or at least as good as anyone else, you know. And but instead you're hiding away in the trees, not to be seen. You're very watchful. So I think that you're very this is the second time I just generally get the feeling that some people do know what their life purpose is, they're just avoiding it. But for those of you that really, really don't know what your life purpose is, in some way that you're hiding yourself away from some aspect of yourself, that whether that's a talent that you have that you might not even realise you have it, or you certainly haven't explored it if you're slightly aware, and through that it's keeping you from your life purpose, whatever that might be, because you possibly just aren't getting out there showing off your talent or your skill or your ability, you know, in any aspect, or whatever that could be. So these two cards represent what you are doing that's supporting you on your journey to find your life purpose. That you know, you might find that you're actively doing these things, that they're of an interest to you, or that the universe is conspiring to put these things in your life because they want, you know, it wants to guide you back to what your life purpose should be. Harvest and the Wheel of the Year. So I think that you are starting to recognise there needs to be change in your life, or that things are changing, that you are coming to the end of something, you're harvesting it, you've worked really hard on something. Some of you for a long time, others of you it might be a short burst, but you've been working really, really hard on something in order to reap the rewards. It's like studying really hard and then getting a superb qualification, or it's working really, really hard at work to get that bonus or that promotion. You've done something and you're gonna get the payoff, whatever that is, because it's going to allow you to change. It's like a payoff that you get, whether it's financial, emotional, mental, intellectual, you know, anything that you've been, you know, it's like taking fitness seriously and you losing the weight and getting physically fit. You know, you've decided you want to gain some muscle and you've worked really hard at the gym and you're gaining the muscle. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, money or otherwise. And through this payoff, it's allowing you to change, to move forward, to have a change, in a sense, your destiny, in a change of the direction that you're moving on. It's allowing you to move from one stage to the other. It's like karma. So that you've done something, you've done it really well, and you're coming to the point of finishing it off, or have finished it off, and it's going to allow something new to come into your life that's karmic. So, and these are such two positive cards. I feel that what you've been doing is, you know, in efforts to be a good person, to be abundant, to be fruitful, and to have lushness in your life, and that in order for you to change, to be a better, newer, more complete person. So yeah, you are trying to change your life in some way, whether you're thinking that it's going to take you on your life path, or whether you're thinking it will just change your life because you're just unhappy with this sense of being not seen, or stuck, or hiding your light under a bushel. Even you're at the point now you think, actually I'll start working on some of this stuff that I've always wanted to do or wanted, and by doing that you're putting yourself in the way of finding your life's purpose, even if what you want to do doesn't end up being your life purpose. It's like that moment of, if I hadn't done that, I would have never have got myself here now, and this is, you know, where I'm truly happy. So this is what you actively need to think about doing, need to do. It could involve researching or thinking about this, or exploring the ideas behind this card, whatever. But it's a direction to move in to get yourself to find your life purpose. Dedication, alter dedication. So it's dedicating yourself something, investing the time. And I mean, we've got all these different symbols here. We've got the candles, we've got like, I'm not sure, I might look it up in the book to see what all these different things are, but it's in a sense a ritual that you are dedicating yourself to the belief of something. And I think that it's you. I think it's dedicating to yourself to the belief that you can be seen, to do, to be abundant, to change your life. And I think it's about taking it seriously, not doubting yourself, and just moving forward. It's dedication. Dedicate yourself to what you want to do. And once you've dedicated yourself, even if it's just a small course of action, that it's a small course of action that you I'm going to go out, I'm going to start travelling more, I'm going to go out on holiday, or I'm going to start looking up, or my spirituality. By doing that, you're just going to be in an open, receptive place, I think, to find your life purpose. So your final card is forgiveness. So whether that's forgiving yourself, forgiving someone else, or forgiving past failures, or forgiving yourself for the time you haven't spent doing it. I don't know. There could have been something horrible that's happened in your life, and it's holding you back, and it's caused you to be hidden because you just don't like drawing attention to yourself. Well, you need to forgive yourself, or forgive what happened, and let it go, and dedicate yourself to that. Because I think until you do, you might find that you're just always chasing after doing your life purpose, but not actually doing it. And that's not what you want. You want to find your life purpose and to live it. And you can if you dedicate yourself. So those of you that chose option 2, that's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose option 3, this is your reading. How do you find your life purpose? So these 2 cards represent what's going on in your life, what you're actively doing, what you're focusing on that's not conducive to you getting on your life purpose. It's not a case that you're wasting your time or that you shouldn't do it. It just means that you're focusing on these things and it's just blocking you. So 2 of Bows, decision. 6 of Stones, exploitation. Okay. So I think what you're focusing on, I think, is a decision that you've made in the past. That you took a decision in the past that you now, possibly a lot of you recognise, took you from your life purpose. Don't think of this as a waste of time or something terrible. You've learned from this other path, so don't beat yourself up over it. But I think you're focused on it, or you're focusing too much on what decision to make, what decision to do, what to do with your life. Option A, option B. And you might even just be so mired in the decision of what to do that you're not doing anything and you're stagnating. And I think you're focused on what you don't have rather than what you do have. That you have this sense, maybe some of you feel that you're being exploited. That you are not living the life that you want to live. That you're not earning the money you should be earning. That you're not getting paid what you deserve. You're probably not. That you're not getting appreciated for the efforts that you put in, like you're breaking your tools, you're breaking your back to get this work done, and then you're just not getting it. I think there's a sense here that you're focusing on, in a sense, like negativity, that you're focusing on what you want and what you don't have rather than the good you have in your life. And you will have some good things going on in your life. Don't feel burdened with looking, this is the problem with there are good things about social media and there are bad things. And one of the bad things is that people edit out the rubbish out of their lives. Like, you can't see the mess on the rest of this table. You can only see the pristine, creamy coloured blanket that I set up for you. You can't see, you can hear the fridge, you can hear the clock, you can hear the rabbits rustling around as they do. But you can't see the absolute chaos of the rest of the kitchen. And when I get to record in another room, you don't see the mess in those rooms, in the living room and the state of the furniture. You just don't see it. I just show you my hands and the blanket. So I'm sort of editing out the unimportant aspects of my life. But when you're on, like Facebook, Instagram or Twitter, people are editing out largely the horrible parts of their life. And they're just showing you one little square snapshot of the good bit where they've actually photoshopped it, used a filter and made it look dreamlike and unrealistic. In a sense, they're fantasizing about their own lives and sharing that fantasy with you. But the negative of that is that people really buy into it and think that they're missing out because they don't have that lifestyle. And I think for some of you, that's what you're looking at. In some way, there's something that other people have, or that, you know, that's going on, and you're thinking, I don't have that and I want it. And you're sort of torn between these two things. And you're focusing so much on it that it's just blocking you, because it's almost like you don't leave any space for anything other than what you want, what you don't have. You know, that there's a fire burning in you and it's leaving you in want for something that you feel, you know, like you're just reflecting on just the beggar at the feast. And I haven't got enough, there's just nothing there. And I want it. You're filled with a fire, and this is good. Keep the fire, but you're just keeping, it's like you're burning all your books and leaving the firewood completely fresh and dry. You're burning the wrong things. You're, you know, investing your energies in the wrong thing because of this sense of decision, that you've either made the wrong decision, you can't make a decision, or that you can't even decide upon the decisions to make. But yeah, I just feel that you're just focused on what you haven't got, that you're, you know, you're always in want because you always think that there's more that you should have, that you don't have enough. And that's not to say, you know, some of you are going to be incredibly poor that are watching this video. That's not to say that I'll be satisfied with the little you have. No, aspire for more, aspire for a comfortable lifestyle, aspire for the security that you need in your life. But don't always think that you need everything in order to be happy, because you don't. So these two cards represent what's going on in your life that is helping you to find your life purpose, that's guiding you onto the path of your life purpose. So this could be anything that you're actually doing, or you're finding is coming into your life because, like, the universe or whatever is, you know, conspiring to put you in the right place. So we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Six of Chalices. So this is interesting, because this speaks to me, you know, the Five of Wands, these kids here are practicing their spells. They've gone off to do like a midnight wood lesson. It's the five people that are in competition. They've got the wands and they're fighting each other. It's you know, a sense of tussle, of energy, of working together, but not necessarily in peace and harmony. It's, you know, it's like going for the job interview and everybody's up for the job and you're all equally talented, but only one of you can get the job. It's just a sense of slight tension, competition, and needing to prove yourself in a way. And I think that you're getting that urge to put yourself out there in order to prove what fire you're lit with. And the Six of Chalices is good because it's a sense that what's coming into your life, for some of you, weirdly, is returning home. That it's about going on a known journey, doing things that you know bring you joy. This is where I'm getting the feeling of want, I suspect, that there's something you want to be doing that makes you happy, and it will sort of put you in there that you have to, in a sense, compete with others for some reason, for a job. Could be sports, could be something creative. And you've not been doing it, and this is why you feel in want, exploited, or that you don't have what you need and want. And you're swarmed, you're overwhelmed with the decision, but you just got to decide to do it, to put yourself in there, to put yourself in that circle where you're all trying to cast a spell. And be free of it, uninhibited, and just think, I'm just going to go off and do it. I'm going to leave this behind and go off onto the new, bigger village and the new journey. So this is good. This is what's encouraging you to go on the right path. By doing this thing, you're going to find your life purpose. So this is actively what you need to do in order to do your life purpose, to find it. You know, to actively research this, think about doing it, explore your options around this, and by doing it you will sort of help find your life purpose. Beltane fertility. So this is all about being fertile, and it's not about being fertile in the sense of having babies. Some of you might want that, some of you might feel the urge to become a parent. Explore your options, be realistic about what you can afford and your lifestyle and all, then whatever, but I'm not saying go out and have a baby. Don't just go ahead and do that. It's an incredible responsibility, but it's about being fertile within yourself. You feel exploited, but you've got to reflect on what you do have and what's growing and is abundant in your life, and go out and enjoy nature. As at the time of me recording this, it's just coming up to, well, it's the end of April, very end of April. It's May the 1st tomorrow. And so we've got Beltane, which is May Day, or at least it's at the end of May. And it's fertility, it's a time of fertility. So get creating for what you want. Think about what abundance you want, what you want to create in your life, in your world. Don't think about what you don't have. Think about what you can have, what you can deliver to yourself, what you can nurture and create. Instead of thinking I haven't got this, think about how can I get it. And doing it for yourself. It's telling you to be proactive and do it for yourself, and reflect on what's fertile in your life, what's abundant, and how you can increase that. So what we've got here is a final message for you of ask your angels. That's interesting. So some of you might believe in angels, others of you don't. I think what this is turn to the people around you, I would say. For those of you that feel that you get support, in a spiritual nature from angels, guides, universe, whatever, turn to it and say, look, help me get through. You're clearly a spiritual person, you're listening to this video. And it's saying about look for that inner guidance. Look for that guidance to find your life path, to do what you feel needs to be done in order to find it or live it. And for those of you that you're slightly spiritual but not completely, ask those people around you that you love, trust, and that are close to you in order to find this sense of fertility, this sense of abundance, this sense of how can I increase what I need in my life. Yeah, there are things or people or something that you can turn to, and you're not doing that. And I think this is what's enabling this sense of confusion about what to do, and this sense that you're just not getting anywhere. Then it's leading you into poverty, spiritual, financial, or emotional poverty. It doesn't matter. But there is abundance in your life, and that's there for you to grab and take. And all you need to do is ask for it, really. So those of you that chose option 3, that's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please take very good care of yourself. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose option 4, this is your reading. How do you find your life purpose? So these 2 cards are representative of what's happening, what you're doing in your life that's sort of taking you away from your life purpose. You're investing too much time in something or doing, and it's just not putting you there. It doesn't mean that you have to stop doing it. It can be that you just need to drastically reduce its importance in your life. The Woodward, that's strength. 4 of arrows. Rest, that's the 4 of swords. So, okay. I think what this is saying is that you're really controlling something, and it's causing what is ultimately your life purpose, or that understanding, that knowing, or whatever of your life purpose is being utterly controlled by you. I got a sense of this with number 1, with their cards. But that was more of a not connecting with it. This, you're suppressing what your life purpose is. So I do get the feeling that a few of the people in the various readings know what their life purpose is. I don't feel that there's any confusion because you're suppressing it. And most of the time we do know what we're suppressing. But we're going to look at the rest, but you're really tightly controlling something. It's strength. It's about, he has got mastery over himself. He's got control over the links. He's got, you know, he's got a dead one on his head as decoration. He's mastered himself. He's in control. He's not allowing his fears or his negativity control him. But in this sense, if this is what you're doing, it's not necessarily about controlling negativity, but controlling something in you, and that's taking you from your life purpose. So maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do and you just stamp it down within yourself, and it's just dormant. It's not dead. Look, he's not dead. All the arrows are not touching him. They're just around him. And he's just sort of lying there. Like he's been in that much of a fight. He's just got to stop and lie. But the butterflies above him, that's like the soul, your life purpose, your soulful purpose. And it's just dormant. It's not dead. You might have forced it into sleep because you've wrestled it to the ground. It's like they've had a big fight. He's the winner. And the life purpose, the desire, the instinct, the talent, the whatever, is not dead. It's just lying, waiting. It's having a rest because you've sort of stifled it within yourself and controlled it to the point that it's lying quiet for a while. Well, once the rest is over, it's going to come back up and rear its head. He's going to wake up, step outside of these 4 arrows and get moving again. So your life purpose hasn't left you. If any of you are suddenly thinking, I've destroyed my opportunity to do it, no. It's just quiet. You haven't lost the talent. You might find you're a bit rusty at whatever it is or whatever, or if you, you know, life purpose isn't about talent but a way of living. It's it's quiet but not dead. So yeah, I think that's simply it. You're controlling yourself in some aspect too much and forcing it to lie dormant. So this is about what's going on in your life that's actively helping you to get on the path of your life purpose, to find your path or to actually be on it. You might find that this is something that you're actually doing, and others of you might find that it's something in somehow the universe, the angels, whatever, guides, whatever you believe in, is conspiring to have this come into your life in order to get you on the path of your life purpose. 7 of Wands. Queen of Wands. Okay, so actually in some way, although you've suppressed something within yourself, that could be anything, you are actually, whether you realise it or not, actually still practicing your craft. You're still doing it. This woman, she's got her 7 wands, she's got all the different ones, and she's either putting it up or taking it down in order to use it, to practice, to her spells. And I think that you are doing that somehow it's still in your life, it's still almost leaching out of you, but it's not fully flourished. And like the 7 of Wands is usually the man like defending himself against all oncomers. So I feel that, you know, actually you are defending its place in your life. Even if it's to yourself, it's just, well, I'll just do this for a little bit. I can do it for a little bit and it'll be all right. That's what I'm saying. I don't, you know, there's this sense of dormancy that it's going to come out. I think it's leaching out. I think it's waking itself up. And this is why you're watching this video. Because we're going from the 7 of Wands, this woman there picking up the wand, and like now she's, you know, I know it's a different woman, but she's like outside with the wand and she's actively using it. And, you know, we've got the 2 birds watching her. I think that actually you are in some way utilising what's meant to be your life purpose, what you're meant to, you know, your gift to the world, your ability, your special, unique thing that only you can do. You know, and we've got almost the same, I know that, but they're purpley flowers here that are little, not quite there and there, they're in full bloom. I think that you actually are becoming proficient at whatever your life purpose is, whether, as I say, for some of you it's a talent, some of you it's a way of thinking. You know, life is giving you the experience in order to be good at what your life purpose is. So although you're not actively embracing it and saying, I am this, I do this, I believe in this, this is my thing, this is what's important to me, you're sort of pushing it down and damping it down and saying, I can't risk doing that now for whatever reason. It's still actually in your life. It's still oozing out. You know, it's almost like he's lying there fast asleep, but his little finger there might be writing something in the ground while he's, you know, unconscious. And I feel that's you. I think that even though you think it's dampened down, it's not. It's still, in some way, you're still doing it. And it's just not, you know, it's not active in your life, but it's just a small part of it. So what we've got here is, you know, this sense that you're already doing it. This is to actually get you on that path, to really make it active in your life, to really wake this sleeping man up, wake up the knowledge, the intuition, the instinct, the ability. Homecoming, hearth. Now that's interesting because both of these focus on the home. So for some of you, to get yourself back on your life purpose, you do need to go home, which is weird, or your homeland is reflective. It's almost, I wonder whether you've not been home for a while, or you've been away from a place that feels like home, or, you know, it could be working too long hours. But you know, it's this thing about being at home. They're like housewives, these women. Hearth and homecoming. Hearth is representative of the home, the place where you feed yourself and your kids. It's the representative of the safety of the family. So for some of you, it's to do with something at home will take you on that journey, or finding happiness at home, or all the rest of it. And for others of you, if you have been away from home, it's something to do with being at home. Maybe that's, you know, life has taken you away from what you were taught as a child, that sense of youth, and the example of your parents. And because you've been away from it for a while, it sort of allowed this thing to become stagnant and controlled within you, because you've had other things to do. And it's almost in your spare time you're thinking about your life's purpose and what you're meant to do, but you can't do it. But it's still there, it's still sort of coming, you're still working away within you, in your spare time within you, and subconsciously, that this is still becoming, you're still, in essence, I'm wondering whether you still actually are on your life path. It's just that it's going to sneak up on you. But something to do with homecoming, going home. You have to think about going home in some way, and whether that sense of going home within yourself, that you go back to somebody who you were when you were younger, and you're thinking, oh, you know, I don't want to go back, but you lost your way. You've lost your way because you've suppressed something in yourself, that you're controlling something in yourself too much, and you're letting it lie dormant. It needs to be on fire. It needs to be lit and awake and living. And this is what you need to focus on. So I think that for a lot of you, it is, in a sense, going back to who you were when you were younger, in that you can say, you know, when I was at home with my parents, I wanted all these things. They never happened. And by sort of pursuing that idea and exploring it and teasing it and seeing where the string or the rope takes you, you'll find your way to your life purpose. So our final message for you, if you believe. So, you know, if you believe in it, you will find your life purpose. Because, as I say, this might not be a direct journey towards your life purpose. It might be a winding one, and some of you have taken a more winding one than others. But if you believe in it, if you believe that you will find your life purpose, or if you already believe you know what your life purpose is and you're just thinking, how can I get back to it? If you believe in yourself and you believe it will happen, it will. Because you just trust your instincts, that inner knowing, you will find yourself going in the right direction. Because I think at the moment you don't believe. That you don't believe. But you do need to, and you will find it. So those of you that chose option 4, that's your reading. I hope that it's helped you and that you enjoyed it. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye.